For this project, you're gonna need a couple of things. You're gonna need a stitch marker, a pair of scissors, a 4mm crochet hook, and some yarn. This is a very fine yarn. It's a darkish red, and the packaging says it requires a 3.5mm hook. So we're going to use this for making the cuffs and the ribbing. And then for the rest of the body and the sleeves, we're going to use this yarn. One I got is from a Dutch store, and the name is Royal. And the backside says that it requires a 5 to 6mm hook, but we're going to use 4mm. So the cuff is going to be very thin and fine, whereas the rest of the body is going to use a thicker yarn. So yeah, that's all you need. So here I have an example of what the sleeves are supposed to look like. We're going to start by making the ribbing over here, as you can see, and then the rest of the sleeve. So you can see it's all yellow with a black stripe, but you can make it however way you want. So let's start by making the ribbing. So the ribbing is quite easy to make. We're gonna use the red yarn, gonna make a loop and then put it on our crochet hook. And then you want to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is going to be the height of the ribbing for the cuffs. So it's going to look like this along your wrist. Then for the next row, you're just gonna single crochet into the loops. So single crochet all along. And just keep going until you're at the end. For me, it doesn't really matter where I put the crochet hook. I just put it into one of the holes inside the loops. And then you have this. So now we're gonna start with the ribbing. You want to start by chaining 1 and then turning your work. Now take a good look at this. Here you can see we have a front loop over here. Then we have a back loop over here. So what you want to do is single crochet in the back loop only. So we chained 1. Now we're going to single crochet in the back loop only. And this is how you create the ribbing effect. So just single crochet in the back loops. Till you're at the end of the row. Single crochet and another single crochet. Make sure that the yarn isn't too tight, so just keep pulling up some more yarn so there's not too much tension on your work. that was the final loop. So as you can see, the ribbing is slowly starting to form. And what you want to do is you want to repeat that first row we did with the back loops only as many times as you need until it fits all the way around your wrist. So you're supposed to wear it like this, and then it should go all the way around. So once again, at the end of the row, you chain 1, you turn your work, and then you single crochet in the back loop only. So do that, and then I'll show you how to do the rest of the sleeve. Okay, so you should now have something that looks like this. And I did 35 rows, but you can do as much as you want. It's really about it fitting your arm, or rather your the lower part of your hand. And what you want to do next is we're gonna join. No, we're not gonna join it. First, we're gonna chain 1, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna single crochet into the side part. So we're gonna single crochet all along this side. And now it's important to know where you're gonna stick your crochet hook. So we're gonna put it in here, and then next to that in here, and then in here. So let's see if you can see it properly here. There's a hole over here. That's the hole we want to put the single crochet into. Then the next one is a bit hidden. So we have one here, then one here. Let me just stretch it out a bit so it's more visible. Yeah, now it's more visible. So if you stretch it out, you can see you want to put your crochet hook into this part first. You see that little hole here, this one, then into this one and this one. So this pattern repeats. You have the lower part where you have a loop, and then the upper part where you have a loop. So lower and upper part, and that pattern just repeats. So the same is the case here. You put it in here, and then in here again. You put it in here, here. Next one, you can guess, in here, and then in here. Yeah. So let me just do that. You chain 1, and then you go into the side. So just single crochet along the way, as you can see. Now I'm gonna put it in here. Crochet. Even if you make mistakes here, it's not really a big issue, because the reason we're doing this is to create a nice pattern along the cuffs, so it's easier for us to attach the new yarn onto. So in reality it doesn't really matter, but I'm just showing you which loops to put the crochet hook into, so it's all nice and even. You don't have to really mind it that much. I also, in previous projects, used to make this mistake a lot, where I wasn't really sure where to put the crochet hook into, and in the end result it's not that visible. It might look a tiny bit more crooked and uneven, but that's not the end of the world. So now I'm done crocheting all along the sides. As you can see, a nice line has formed, and that's where we're going to be inserting the new yarn. But before we do that, we're first gonna close this off. So it's rather simple. You just slip stitch your way through. You just find a point to place your hook into. For example, I'm gonna put it in here. Just make sure it's all even. Then I'm gonna put it in here. I pull the yarn through both loops, and then I slip stitch. Then I put it to this loop and into that one, pull the yarn and slip stitch. You just do that along the way till your cuff is closed up. So now it's all closed up. You can even wear it, see if it fits. I did 35 rows all around and it fits nicely for me. Then I just chain one, and then I just cut off the yarn. Oh, there you go. Pull through, and I just connect the two ends together. So now we're gonna introduce the new yarn. So here is my thick yarn. This is the part where we did the single crochets all along. So just insert your hook underneath one of those single crochets like this, and pull up a loop and pull through so it's attached. Then you want to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then the pattern is quite simple. What we're gonna do is, just gonna tighten it a bit. What we're gonna do is we're gonna enter by doing a double crochet into the next loop. So just yarn over, go underneath your stitch, pull up the yarn, pull through 2, pull through 2. That's one double crochet. Then in the next one, I'm gonna do 2 double crochets. So pull up, pull through 2, pull through 2, and into the same stitch we're gonna do another double crochet. So pull through 2, pull through 2. Now the pattern changes a bit. Now we're gonna do 1 double crochet in one loop, 1 double crochet in the next loop, and then 2 double crochets, 2 double crochets. So into the next loop, 1 double crochet. Into the next loop, another double crochet. Into the third loop, 2 double crochets. So 1, and into the exact same stitch, another double crochet. Now into the fourth stitch we do another, we do 2 double crochets. So 1 double crochet, and into the same stitch, another double crochet. And this is the pattern you're going to follow all around for the first row. So now we're at the end of that. You want to do a slip stitch when you're at the end of the row. So go ahead, just find a stitch on the other side, slip stitch. As you can see, we've increased, so the yellow part is going to be wider. Then you want to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then for row 2 until 42, you're just going to double crochet all around, no increases, no decreases. Just yarn over, go underneath the stitch, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. So this is what my sleeve looks like. I went for a longer sleeve. Just to clarify, row 1 until 20 is yellow, row 21, 22 is black, 23 to 42 is also yellow. And then you can just feel how it fits you, if it's too big or too small. For me, this works fine. And when you're done with this, after having made 2 sleeves, I'll show you how to make the body. So now we're going to be making the ribbing for the lower side of the sweater. It's the exact same thing we did for the cuffs, for the sleeves. So I chained 10, and I'm going to do the exact same thing, where I just single crochet for the first row, and then for all the upcoming rows, I'm just gonna do a single crochet in the back loop only. Okay, so this part is done. As you can see, I did 1 single crochet all around the rim. So now you're gonna take the new yarn, you're gonna put it on your hook and insert it into the part you did your single crochets, like so. And then you want to chain 3. So just attach it to the yarn. There, now it's attached. Now you chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and this counts as your first stitch. Now you want to do a double crochet into the next one, into the next stitch, so, and then another double crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So 1 double crochet, and then into the same stitch another double crochet. So this is going to be the pattern. You're going to do 1 double crochet, and then into the next stitch 1 double crochet, then into the next stitch 1 double crochet, and then in the 4th stitch 2 double crochets. Okay, as you can see, I'm done with the first row. So all you have to do right now is just chain 2 and then double crochet into every stitch, and do that. I do that for 24 rows, then I'm gonna switch to black for row 25 and 6, and then I'm gonna continue with yellow for another 6 rows. So I'll be having 32 rows in total. So just do that, and then we'll come back to the shoulders. So as you can see, I'm done doing 32 rows. Now I'm doing the neckline. So what you want to do is, you want to count how many stitches you have all across. And for me that was 75. And then you want to divide that number by 3. So for me that would be 25. So you count 25 stitches here. This is where we're going to do the shoulder. Then 25 stitches here, which is going to be empty. This is where your neck goes. And then another 25 stitches, and this is where the shoulders go. And what I'm gonna do is I am gonna crochet 4 more rows up until this point, and do nothing here. So let me just show you. So as always, I started by chaining 2, and then I'm just gonna double crochet along the way for 25 stitches. So I'm gonna double crochet up until this point. So you can do that as well, and I'm gonna do that for 4 rows. Double crochet and into the next stitch. And you just do that along the way up until this point. Okay, so I double crocheted along the row, and here you have the stitch marker. So I'm just gonna remove it and double crochet into the last stitch. And now what you want to do is chain 2 and turn your work. And then do 3 more rows. So this was row 1, you chain 2 and then you just go back. Then you chain 2 and you go back until you have 4 rows. And when you're done with that, you do the exact same thing here on the other side. You just attach your yarn, double chain, crochet, double crochet up until the stitch marker, and then chain 2 and then go back until you have 4 rows on both sides. And then we're basically done. We're gonna sew our work together and then finish by making the collar. Okay, I laid down all the pieces on the floor so we can see how to sew it all together. So most importantly, the wrong sides have to be out. So this is the wrong side, and on the back that also is the wrong side because we're gonna flip it inside out. Same for the sleeves. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start by sewing the shoulders together, and then what I'm gonna try to do is, not sure how to explain it, but basically I'm gonna sew the underside of the sleeve to the body, to the back body, and then the front side of the sleeve to the front body. And then I'm just gonna sew all of this. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. So start with the shoulder, and then back side of the sleeve goes to the back body, front side of the sleeve goes to the front body. And of course, don't sew this shut, because then you can put your arm in and sew along this way. Then when that's done, we're gonna make some single crochets around the neckline. I'm not really sure yet what I'm gonna do with the neckline. Figure it out in a bit. But yeah, right now I'm just gonna sew it all together and then we'll see. And when it looks good, we can turn it inside out. Okay, so it's almost midnight. I've been listening to way too much K-pop music. But it made me progress and finish sewing up everything. Then when I was finished, I turned it inside out. Now I'm gonna work on the collar. So my idea is to just take the same red yarn we used here and just do a chain 1 and then go all around, and then just do as many rows as you want depending on how high you want it to be. So I'm not sure how high I want it to be yet. I'm just gonna chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet until I get to a height I'm happy with, and then I'll show you. Well, here you have it, the completed sweater. Here you can see the collar. I ended up doing 8 rows in total and then just sewing it together. Yeah, that is it.